Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Destiny and I do book things here. And today we're going to talk about my, oops, sorry, the camera just shook. We're going to talk about my January wrap up. Few disclaimers, of course you can hear Coco in the background. My little one's started laying down. We have become enamored with Coco Melon. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dryer going, but multitasking. So I will be looking down a little bit because I have my laptop. I ended up reading 16 books this month. 6 of them at this time I can't talk about because they're part of a secret TBR, but I did finish those 6. And we're just going to divide this video by what I physically read and versus what I listened to, because that's just how my brain works. So as I've told y'all before and we talked about, I finished first one I finished this year was Recruition by Blake Crouch. Technically I read most of it in December, but I did finish it in January, so I'm counting it. It is a story that plays with time, not in a way that's confusing. If you focus too much on the time element, it is confusing, but time does play a huge part in it, but it's so good. And the way time is played with is very, very masterful. I absolutely loved it. I have Upgrade, which I'm hoping to read, and I've heard is not as good as Recruition. But I did finish it. Absolutely loved it. I ended up giving it 5 stars. Next, I read Not a Day Goes By Elan Harris. It is the second in the Yancey Braxton series. This one, I've talked about it before in a vlog, or a catch-up video, one of the two. I didn't care for it as much as I did the first one. I found that Yancey the first one, she seemed to grow. There was a lot of growth there, and I started to actually like Yancey and like root for her. And now the second one, she seemed to regret, the word's gonna come to me in a second. Revert, that's the word I'm looking for. She seemed to revert a lot, and I've started the third one and I'm about a chapter in and she's reverted even more. And so I'm hoping that like this is a tactic to show that she's kind of bouncing back, which sometimes you do in growth. Go grow, get scared, and just like revert back to your comfort zone. I'm wondering if that's what she's doing, but we will see. That one I ended up only giving 3 stars because honestly, by the end of it, Yancey was kind of on my nerves. The next one I finished was Spiritbound by Rochelle Mead. This one I ended up giving 3 stars as well. Did I give it 4? No, I gave it 3 stars. The rest of the series did not read young to me or immature, but this one, Rose felt very immature in the way she was looking at things, and the way she treats Adrian just boiled my blood. There's no reason for her to treat him like that, in my opinion. So it just boiled my blood and it made me a little angry. Other than that, like the ending made me want to read the next one. And there's only one left in the series, so I will be finishing it this year. I probably will try to finish it in February just to put it behind me and say I've read it. But that one didn't rank as high as the other ones did. So I ended up only giving it 3 stars. The next one I ended up finishing was The Wicked Deep by Shay Earnshaw. This one I realized upon writing my blog post for this video, that she also wrote Long Live the Pumpkin Queen and one other one that's on my TBR. It's called History of the Wild Places. I'm really excited to read History of the Wild Places. I'm very, very interested in it. As far as The Wicked Deep, I think the hype got me. I was so excited and so hyped for it based on hearing everyone talk about it, how much I loved it, and it fell hard on its face. It took 230 some odd pages for me to get into it and actually want to read it, and like where I couldn't put it down. And obviously I finished 16 books this month, so I've been in a very much a reading mood, and like that's all I've wanted to do is devour stories. This one almost put me in a slump. Again, it took almost 230 something pages for me to get into it, and even then I think it could have gone further and could have gone cool places if she let it, and it didn't. And I don't know. It was a debut novel, and that's why I'm going to give her another try, because I did love Long Live the Pumpkin Queen, and it's so different in the writing, and there's a little bit better to me than the writing in this one, but I ended up giving it 3 stars as well. Next, I finished Court by Tracy Wolff. I've always loved the Crave series. If you have ever, I don't know what I just did. Hold on. Sorry, guys. If you've ever read this series, what is going on? If you ever read this series, it follows Grace. And the first one I absolutely love because I went into it completely blind. And they get more convoluted and illogical as they go, because you kind of have to like display all you have to let go of all beliefs and kind of like just roll with it. And I absolutely love it for that, because it's just a fun, quick read for me. They're usually like 700 pages, so it's like a good, long, quick, I'm in love, like I'm just rolling with it here or there. This one though, it is the 4th one in the series, and there was a new character we're introduced that is thrown into our tight-knit, like, found family very quickly, and it's just like they all love this person very, very quickly, which kind of put me off. And then like this person, the author almost loses track where this person is. So like there's a whole scene where supposedly they went off with a separate group, and our group broke into 2 pieces, and this particular character went with that first group to a different place. They're not with us in this scene, but yet they're speaking in this scene. And then it's even like the next scene that we see them all together, they're lumped again within the first group that they're not supposed to be in. It's like they lost track of this character for a good 50 pages. And it kind of annoyed me. And then I was trying to see. Oh, and then like at the very, very end, one of the characters that's been with us through all 5 books that we are emotionally attached to, something devastating happens to them. We don't see the news broke. We don't see them like what happened to, we don't know what happened to them. We flash on to our characters have moved on. They're happy. They're moving on with their lives. We don't know what happened to this character yet, but yet here comes one of the dragons. I'll say that much. That's not really spoiling it. One of the dragons comes in and is like, hey, we figured out how to fix this character that I totally forgot was hurt in the first place. We need to go. And it's like, I know it's another call to action. It's supposed to like start the adventure up again, but it felt so wrongly done and out of characteristic for the characters we have, because they care so much about one another. There's no way they would have let this devastating thing happen to this character and them just go on with their lives and go to college and like just move on and be happy while this character's still in peril and is basically about to pass away. Like there's no way that would have happened, and it just felt wrong. But is Destiny going to pick up the 6th book? Yes, I am. I am going to pick up the 7th one too, because I love them. I love how convoluted they are, and I want to know what happens to this character. So yes, I will continue. I did only give this one, again, this is another 3-star read, just because of how that ending just took it all out of me. It was a 4-star read. I was like, writing a book is not easy. Like, of course you can lose track of a character, maybe editing didn't go the way you needed it to. I can forgive that. And then that ending happened. I was like, no, this is definitely a 3-star. This is my least favorite of the series, and that's fine. The next 2 I finished. So those were all the ones I physically read this month. There was 5. Now the last one I ended up reading, the last 5 that I'm going to tell you about that I read, that would be the ones I listened to. So the first 2 I was trying to think how I want to do this. So how I'm going to do this is we're just going to go by, brain's going to work in a second. I'm going to group them by series because I ended up finishing 2 series this month. I didn't really finish, but I caught up to one series and finished another one. The first one that I caught up on is the Finlay Donovan series. So this month I read Finlay Donovan is Killing It and Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. I love this so much. If you have not picked up the Finlay Donovan mysteries and you like a cozy mystery, it does not take itself seriously at all. Do not go in this book thinking it's going to be like this Agatha Christie hardcore mystery, because it's not. It's not. If you do not like a convoluted plot, you're not going to like this one. If you don't like characters making mistakes and making fun of themselves, you're not going to like this one. This series follows Finlay. Finlay is a newly single mother. She has 2 children. One is 5 and one is 2. I believe her little boy is 2. The very first one starts off her talking about how her 2-year-old is covered in syrup from his breakfast, and her 5-year-old has now cut her hair and is bleeding, and whining about duct tape, how she can duct tape her hair back, and how her daddy could fix it if she wanted her to, and how she now has makeup syrup and hair stuck to her pants, and she has to go meet her editor, and like everything seems to be blowing up in her face. It's a normal morning with her kids, and I instantly laughed out loud and fell in love. I listened to the first half of this all in one sitting at home at night. Usually I don't listen to an audiobook at home. Usually I'm with my little one, and if I decide I want to read at night, like right now, usually I'll be reading. It's physically, it's not audibly. Like, I just want to engage my eyes. I want to turn off all the screens, just have a light, my book, and be comfortable. Finlay, I sat there and scrolled. I'm not even gonna lie, I scrolled on Instagram or something that didn't make noise, maybe Pinterest, and just scrolled for almost 2 hours listening to this book because it was so good and it made me laugh. And then my library had a 6-month wait for the second one. And I said, okay, I'll wait. I will be patient and wait until I realized Scribd, which I paid monthly for, had it. We listened to it immediately. So I ended up finishing Finlay Knocks 'Em Dead. It obviously picks up after the events of the first one. And she's now trying to figure out what's going on here. And it's so good. Like, everything I loved about the first one happened in the second one. The third one comes out on the 31st. I'm hoping Scribd will have it as soon as it comes out. We shall see. If it does, your girl will be reading it because I need more Finlay. The second series that I finished, the second series I either caught up or finished. I finished a series, and that is Miss Pendergrain's Peculiar Children. I read the Conference of Birds and the Desolation of Devil's Acre. I ended up giving the Conference of Birds 4 stars, and the Desolations of Devil's Acre, say that 15 times fast, 5 stars. The Conference of Birds, it was okay. It felt like a fluff book. It just kind of got us from point A to point B. I don't really remember a whole bunch of it. I remember a lot of the plot points in it because it got us from point A to point B. And then the Desolations of Devil's Acre, I think, was a beautiful ending to this series. It gave me everything I wanted. I don't know if there's another book coming. If there is, I would be more than excited to read it. I think it would have an audience. I will say there is a full review coming for this series. Map of Days is still my favorite, and I think I would love to see our characters like investigate the peculiar America and like try to map the loops that are there and like add them into what they already have going. I think that'd be really, really cool. A really cool story. I loved Map of Days because it actually felt like we were going on our own adventure to figure this all out for ourselves. It wasn't something that we already knew, we just had to do. It was like we were figuring it out with them, which I absolutely loved. But that's that. And the last book I read, which is my favorite, I don't even need my laptop for this one, is my favorite out of the month, and that is House at the End of the Cerulean Sea. I read this straight through. I love Lucy so much. if you don't know this about me, I have a motherly personality. I have always been the mom friend. I'm always the one that I will nurture you, feed you, make sure you've had a shower. Like, bad day, you can call me. I will listen to you vent for days on end if I need to. I'm usually the most patient one. I think my patience went into my daughter, but I'm usually the very, very patient one. All that good stuff. And House of the Endless Cerulean Sea made me realize why I love children so much. Lucy has such an innocence to him, and like, he knows what he's doing, but he's only 6, so he's saying these things just to get a rise out of you, and he thinks it's funny, and I love him. I absolutely love this book. I laughed out loud. I cried when he left. I need to know whether they're gonna get the new baby or not. Because if they do, Destiny needs to know about it. Like, I don't want to read it all. Just gimme. Because I absolutely love this. I know that TJ Klune has another book, Under the Whispering Door. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. I'll put it by my head. That I'm planning on reading. Script did not have a copy of it. I checked. The library does. I have it on hold. It's going to take a while to get to me. But as soon as that is available, I will be reading it because I absolutely loved this book. It was my favorite of the month. Like, hands down, of the 16 books I read, House of the Endless Cerulean Sea is my favorite, and I will own it. And I probably will reread it. It is a comfort read just as much as Sarah J. Maas or Twilight is for me. This one is definitely a new comfort read for me. It would be in my top 10 of all time. It would be in my top 10 of all time. My top 5 of all time, actually. If you told me I had to go to a deserted island and I can only take 5 books, this would be one of them. Hands down, this would be one of them. And so, yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was so good. But there you have it. Those are the 10 things I can talk to you about that I finished this month. Like I said, there's 6 more. If you want to hear about them, you'll have to hang in there. There is a whole video for them. But yeah, but as far as my ratings go, I may have messed some of them up, but I had, and this includes this does include the other 6 that you don't know about. So I had 5 3-stars, 4 4-stars, and 9 5-star reads. That gave me an overall average rating of a 4.33 for the month. Not a bad month at all, in my opinion. I absolutely loved it. I feel like this month I got more selective on my 5 stars. I'm taking more notes while I'm reading, which is helping a lot because it doesn't feel like the book just flew past my ears. I'm actually taking time to delve in and write my thoughts as I'm having them. So when I finish, I can go back and read my thoughts and like have an overall look of how I felt. But yeah, 4.33, not mad at it. I was hoping to get, my goal actually was to get just 1 book read this month. And then I hit 5 and I thought, okay, we're going to do 10. And then I hit 10. I thought, okay, we're going to do 15. That's a stretch. Never going to hit 15. I hit the 15. So my overall goal at this point in the month was 20. I don't think I'm going to hit it. It is officially the 25th of January. So I'm pretty far into the month. I have 6 days left. I may end up finishing 1 or 2 books, but I will just lump them into February if I do. But yeah, I hope you are having a wonderful day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.